You might be holding a fortune in your pocket right now without even knowing it. A single penny from 1977, with no mint mark, could be worth a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1 million, hiding in plain sight among the coins you've tossed aside for decades. That it all starts with a coin that looks completely ordinary. To the untrained eye, it's just a copper Lincoln penny. But one tiny detail transforms it into a millionaire maker. The story begins in a small, quiet mint over 4 decades ago. A production error went unnoticed, and only a handful of these pennies ever made it into circulation. Most ended up in pockets, jars, and drawers, blending seamlessly with their ordinary siblings. Collectors have spent years hunting for these rare pennies, and when one is found, it sparks a frenzy. Imagine opening a dusty coin roll from your childhood and finding that one perfect, unassuming penny that could change your life. People have literally retired overnight because they stumbled upon one of these rare coins. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin unique. Every penny has a date, but this one stands out because it has no mint mark at all. That absence is the key. Most pennies have a D for Denver or S for San Francisco, but the 1977 no mint mark penny doesn't. That tiny missing letter is worth more than most of us will see in a lifetime. It's subtle, almost invisible to the casual observer, but to collectors, it's everything. You might be thinking, how could I possibly identify this penny? First, check the date carefully. It must be 1977. Then, look directly under the date on the obverse side. If there's no small letter indicating a mint, congratulations, you could be holding one of the rarest pennies in U.S. history. Next, inspect its condition. The better the preservation, the higher the value. Coins with crisp edges and minimal wear can sell for astonishing amounts, sometimes reaching the $1 million mark. But the mystery doesn't end there. These coins were nearly erased from history. In the 1970s, the mint was producing millions of pennies each year. The 1977 no mint mark penny slipped through by mistake, almost like the universe intended for someone lucky to discover it decades later. Imagine the thrill of knowing that a coin you've held for years could be a key to unimaginable wealth. People have stories of stumbling upon their fortune in the most ordinary ways, digging through an old coin jar, sifting through rolls from the bank, even finding one in a vending machine. Each story is a reminder that luck favors those who are prepared, who take the time to notice the details others overlooked. Here's the most important part: handling and preserving your penny. Once you identify a potential 1977 no mint mark penny, avoid cleaning it. Scrubbing or polishing can destroy its value. Store it safely, ideally in a coin holder, away from moisture and sunlight. Even minor damage can reduce a multi-million-dollar coin to just a few dollars. Every minute that passes, the market for these pennies grows more competitive. Collectors, investors, and treasure hunters are all on the lookout, and prices continue to rise. The sense of urgency is real. Each coin that surfaces pushes the value higher, because there are only so many in existence. Every discovery is like watching history and fortune collide in your hands. You might wonder if your coin is genuine. Professional grading and authentication are crucial. A certified expert can verify that the penny is indeed a 1977 no mint mark coin, and this step ensures that when you sell or insure it, the value is fully recognized. Many pennies are mistaken for ordinary coins, so confirmation is key to turning a simple copper disc into a $1 million asset. Now, think about the possibilities. Imagine walking into a bank, a coin jar, or even your attic, and holding a penny that could make you a millionaire. The sheer thrill, the emotion, the life-changing potential, it's hard to put into words. These coins are more than currency. They're a bridge between a quiet past and an extraordinary future. Even after decades, the suspense remains. Each discovery is like uncovering a secret the world forgot. Every 1977 no mint mark penny carries a whisper of history, a reminder that sometimes the most incredible treasures are hidden in the most ordinary places. There are still some out there, waiting to be found. Maybe in a forgotten coin jar, tucked into a wallet, or rolling across a tabletop. Every penny you check could be the one that changes everything. The one that turns a mundane habit into a life-altering moment. The excitement, the suspense, the potential for a $1 million discovery. It's all real. You've learned how to identify it, why it's valuable, and why collectors go to extraordinary lengths to find one. Every detail matters, and every second counts. You won't believe what I'm about to show you. A coin that could make someone a millionaire has been hiding in plain sight for decades, tucked away in rolls of change, in drawers, in jars on kitchen counters. And it's not a rare silver dollar or some exotic foreign coin. It's an ordinary-looking 1981 Lincoln penny, with one tiny detail that turns it into a fortune. Imagine holding a coin worth over $1 million in your hand. Without even knowing it, the story of this penny begins with a subtle printing mistake. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, all stamped with a small D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But a small number slipped through without any mint mark at all. These are the 1981 no mint mark pennies. At first glance, they look like any other penny in your pocket. But collectors quickly realized that this tiny missing letter could be worth a fortune. Think about it. Millions of coins were made, yet only a few of these no mint mark pennies exist. That rarity, that flaw, is what makes them so valuable. Imagine sifting through a jar of pennies and suddenly noticing a coin that looks slightly off. That moment of recognition, that surge of excitement, is what coin collectors live for. And for someone who finds one of these, it can literally change their life. It's simple if you know what to look for. First, examine the obverse side, the side with Lincoln's face. A genuine 1981 no mint mark penny will have no small letter under the date. That's it. No D, no S, no P. Just Lincoln and the year 1981. But be careful, some counterfeits exist. The surface of the coin should feel like a standard penny, coppery, with the normal wear of circulation if it's been in circulation. The magic is in the missing mint mark, and that tiny detail makes all the difference. Now picture this. You're at home, cleaning out old jars of coins, maybe even checking change from a recent grocery trip. You pick up a penny and something catches your eye. Could it be a 1981 no mint mark? Your heart races because in that one moment, you might be holding a coin worth over $1 million. That's not a story from a movie. That's real life for collectors who found these coins by accident. Collectors describe the feeling as a mix of shock, disbelief, and exhilaration. You know that old saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure? In this case, it couldn't be more literal. That ordinary coin in your pocket could fund your retirement, pay off debts, or allow you to live a life you've only dreamed of. And all because someone didn't notice a tiny letter was missing. Here's another tip for identification. Look closely at the date. On a genuine 1981 no mint mark penny, the numbers are perfectly aligned, with no irregularities that suggest tampering. Some coins have scratches or marks that seem suspicious, but if the coin has clean, crisp features and no mint mark, you could be holding a legitimate treasure. Handle it carefully. Even a scratch or a fingerprint can affect its value when selling to collectors. The fascinating part about this penny is the story it tells. It's a reminder that history can hide in the smallest details. Every scratch, every discoloration, every missing letter tells a story of how it escaped the millions of other pennies produced that year. You can almost feel the decades of hands it passed through, and now it could be yours. Imagine the thrill of showing this penny to someone and seeing their eyes widen. They know what you have. They know the value, the rarity. And then comes the realization. You could be looking at a coin worth over $1 million. One single coin, ordinary in appearance, extraordinary in value. Even experts get excited over these finds. They inspect the coin with magnifying glasses, compare it to known examples, and confirm the missing mint mark. The anticipation builds with each moment. And here's something most people don't realize. This penny doesn't need to be in pristine condition to be valuable. Many have been in circulation, showing signs of wear and tear. That wear doesn't diminish its rarity. In fact, it's part of its story, proof that it has lived a life in wallets and registers, quietly waiting to be discovered by the right person. Every coin has a journey, but the 1981 no mint mark penny is more than a coin. It's a symbol of opportunity. It's a testament to the fact that sometimes fortune hides in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone curious, someone diligent, someone lucky enough to notice. You can even check change you already have. That jar of pennies on the counter, the coins in your car, the loose change in your drawers. Any of them could hold this hidden treasure. Take your time. Examine each one under good light. And remember, the missing mint mark is the key. That tiny detail is the difference between a common penny and $1 million find. Think about it. While most people throw pennies away, some collectors find life-changing fortune with just one glance. One coin, one discovery, one moment that turns ordinary life into extraordinary wealth. It's almost poetic how the universe hides treasures for those who look closely. If you're patient, careful, and observant, you might just stumble upon the penny that could make headlines. Stories circulate in the collecting community about people finding these pennies and rolls from the bank, in old collections, even in their childhood piggy banks. The suspense, the anticipation, the hope, it's all part of the thrill, and once you identify it, the next step is protection. Keep it in a safe, handle it with gloves, and consider professional grading. The market for these pennies is intense. Collectors will pay extraordinary amounts for verified examples. And remember, this isn't just a coin. It's a gateway to $1 million opportunity. So take a moment. Look around you. Check those drawers, jars, boxes. That ordinary coin that's been sitting there unnoticed could be hiding something incredible. The thrill of discovery, the rush of excitement, the thought that you could be holding a coin worth over $1 million. It's real. And it's waiting. History has a way of rewarding the observant. Those who pay attention to the details, who notice the small things, are the ones who find treasures others overlook. This penny is proof that extraordinary wealth can come from the most unexpected places, that even an ordinary coin can carry a life-changing story. And now, it's your turn. Take the time, examine carefully, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next person to uncover this incredible coin. One tiny letter, missing for decades, waiting for the right eyes to see it. The chance is right there, in your hands, in your coins. This isn't just any penny. This is a 1965 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, a coin so rare, collectors are chasing it like treasure. And today, I'm going to show you how to spot it before it's gone forever. The story starts in the mid-1960s, a turbulent time in America. The U.S. Mint was making pennies by the millions, yet one tiny batch slipped through the cracks. Coins missing the D or S mint mark that should have been stamped on every coin. No one expected these coins to survive, yet some did. These surviving pennies became ghosts, hidden in change jars, forgotten wallets, and dusty drawers. Imagine discovering one at a yard sale or in your pocket change. One moment, it's just a coin. The next, it's a ticket to over $1 million. Collectors call these no mint mark pennies, but that name doesn't do justice to the power they hold. These are coins that have turned ordinary people into millionaires overnight. First, check the date, 1965. Then, look carefully at the obverse side, the side with Abraham Lincoln. There should be no mint mark beneath the date. Most pennies from that year have a D for Denver or S for San Francisco. If it's completely blank, that's your first clue. The details matter. The coin should have the classic Lincoln profile, sharp features, and the words "In God We Trust" above his head. Flip it over. The reverse has the wheat ears on either side and the words 1 cent in the center. The absence of the mint mark isn't a flaw. It's what gives this coin its value. Here's where it gets dramatic. Many collectors have searched for years, digging through millions of coins, hoping for a glimpse of that blank space beneath the date. And when they find one, the reaction is electric, because in that moment, a fortune appears where nobody thought it could exist. Over $1 million in your hands, hidden in plain sight all along. You don't have to be a professional collector to find this coin. Start with change you already have. Check old coin rolls, dig through coins your grandparents might have saved, or even scan coins that have been in circulation for decades. Each coin you examine is a chance to uncover something extraordinary. Some say these coins are unlucky to find because of their rarity. But imagine the thrill of holding a piece of history that is also worth a fortune. The emotional weight is unbelievable. This isn't just metal. It's the story of America in your palm, a story that could literally change your life. And the rarity of this penny is astonishing. Only a small number exist, meaning millions of people could be missing out on this hidden treasure. If you find one, it's not just a coin. It's your chance to turn everyday change into million-dollar possibilities. Even experts admit, this penny is like a secret the mint never intended to keep. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things are hiding where we least expect them. A quiet coin, sitting unnoticed, waiting for the right moment to shine. Now, here's how to examine it carefully. Look at the edges. They should be smooth and unaltered. Inspect the metal color. Copper with the natural aging of a coin from 1965. Fakes exist, so make sure the weight and size are consistent with other Lincoln cents from that era. If in doubt, consult a professional coin grader. This could be $1 million decision. What makes it emotional isn't just the money. It's the history, the mystery, the idea that someone could hold this coin for years, thinking it's worthless, only to discover a fortune in their hand. The stories of collectors discovering this penny are inspiring. People who changed their lives overnight, achieving dreams they never thought possible. Every coin is unique. Tiny scratches, slight differences in minting, or subtle where patterns can affect value. So your penny could be more than just one of many. It could be the rarest of all, the one that turns ordinary coin hunting into a life-changing event. Keep your eyes sharp. Don't dismiss any penny that looks old or slightly unusual. Every coin has potential. And remember, finding a coin like this isn't just luck. It's persistence, patience, and knowing what to look for. Your next glance at your change could reveal a treasure beyond imagination. In the end, the 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of opportunity, a reminder that fortune often hides in the most ordinary places. If you follow the steps, stay vigilant, and trust your instincts, you could uncover a piece of history worth more than you ever dreamed. So, start checking those old coin jars, dig through rolls from decades past, and inspect every 1965 penny carefully. You might be closer than you think to discovering a secret worth over $1 million. A single coin, barely noticeable, could be worth over $1 million. Today, I'm talking about the 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that has quietly turned ordinary people into millionaires. Most people pass by pennies every day without a second thought. But some of these pennies carry a story so shocking, so rare, that collectors have literally stopped in their tracks when they found one. The 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those coins. Its story begins in a time when the United States was printing billions of pennies, a time when nobody thought a simple copper coin could ever be worth anything more than a few cents. Yet, buried within the mass-produced pennies of 1980, a small number were struck without the D mint mark that usually signifies a Denver mint origin. It's almost as if the mint itself tried to hide this anomaly. These pennies slipped quietly into circulation, passing from pocket to pocket, unnoticed for decades. And today, they are treasures worth over $1 million. Imagine the first time a collector realized what they held. One moment, it was just another coin in a jar. The next, a life-changing discovery. The excitement, the disbelief, the sudden awareness that this small disc could completely transform someone's life. It's hard to overstate the emotional impact of finding a coin worth $1 million in your own home. First, look at the obverse side. The profile of Abraham Lincoln should appear normal. The detail in Lincoln's beard, the shape of his jawline, the hair, all should be crisp. Now, check the area just below the date. On most pennies from 1980, you'll see a small D, indicating it was minted in Denver. If that D is missing, you may be holding the rare no-mint mark version. The edges are also important. Run your fingers along the coin. It should have the familiar smoothness of a circulated penny, but the strike may be slightly off compared to mass-produced coins. That tiny imperfection is actually part of what makes this coin so valuable. It's a fingerprint of history. Collectors describe the feeling of finding one as almost spiritual. It's not just about the money. It's about holding a piece of history that no one else knew existed. There's suspense in knowing that something ordinary can be extraordinary, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right person to recognize its value. Many people search through thousands of coins in their collections or jars of change, hoping to discover this secret penny. And some have. There are documented cases of everyday Americans discovering one in a drawer, a piggy bank, or even the bottom of a pocket. Their lives changed overnight. What was once a simple habit, collecting spare change, suddenly became a path to wealth beyond imagination. Absolutely. The truth is, tens of millions of pennies from 1980 exist, but only a handful are no mint mark examples. That rarity is what drives the value into the millions. Every time a new one surfaces, it sends shockwaves through the collector community. People are buying, selling, and paying attention like never before. To confirm a genuine 1980 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, you'll need good lighting and a magnifying glass. Look closely at the date and the area below it. The absence of the D is subtle but unmistakable. Some coins may be worn, but the mint mark area should be completely blank, which is what makes the coin so elusive. If you think you've found one, having it professionally graded can ensure its authenticity and maximize its value. These coins aren't just monetary treasures. They're symbols of patience, attention, and a little bit of luck. They remind us that sometimes extraordinary opportunities hide in the most ordinary places. A coin that might have spent decades under the couch cushions, in an old jar, or tucked in a drawer can suddenly become a gateway to unimaginable wealth. Collectors often talk about the thrill of the hunt, sorting through bags of pennies, hoping for that glimmer of possibility. It's suspenseful, almost cinematic. You never know when the moment will arrive, but when it does, it's unforgettable. That is the power of the 1980 no mint Mark Lincoln penny. It is proof that history rewards those who pay attention, who are willing to look a little closer. Every detail counts. The color of the copper, the smoothness of the rim, the exact spacing of the date. Every element is a clue, a secret code left behind by the mint. It's almost poetic how something so small can carry such enormous value. The coin has survived time, unnoticed yet resilient, waiting for its rightful discoverer. And this isn't just a story of luck. It's a story of hope, of ordinary people turning curiosity into life-changing discovery, of small actions leading to monumental rewards. The thrill of knowing that somewhere in America, someone is holding a coin in their hand worth over $1 million, maybe even in their pocket right now, is electrifying. So, check your collections, check your drawers, even check those coins you've ignored for years. The 1980 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is a rare gem, a secret that could be hiding under your nose. Remember, it's not just a coin. It's a bridge to history, to excitement, and to wealth that most people can only dream about. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could instantly change your life. Not some rare treasure buried in a vault, not a hidden stash in a millionaire's mansion, but a simple Lincoln penny. And yet, this penny is quietly worth over $1 million. Right now, it could be hiding in your pocket, your drawer, even in the bottom of a jar you forgot about. But the truth is stranger than fiction. This is the story of the 1993 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that the world nearly overlooked, yet today commands jaw-dropping prices. Back in 1993, the United States Mint was churning out pennies by the billions. Most were destined to fade into everyday transactions, unnoticed and unvalued. But somewhere along the line, a handful escaped the ordinary. These coins were struck without the tiny D or P mint mark, an error that would make them extraordinarily rare. A penny that would later be worth $1 million. Collectors first started whispering about these anomalies in the late 1990s. At first, skeptics scoffed. How could a simple penny from 1993, a year that doesn't even feel old, be so valuable? But then the stories started pouring in. Coins found in circulation, coins from forgotten jars, even coins purchased years ago for face value, now selling for staggering sums. $1 million sums. Identifying one of these pennies isn't as hard as you might think, but it requires careful eyes and patience. First, check the mint mark. If there is no letter beneath the date on the front of the coin, you may be holding something extraordinary. Next, examine the details closely. These pennies are made of copper, just like the ones you know, but their strike can be slightly different. Sharper lines, a slightly higher relief. It's crucial to understand that even small imperfections can make a big difference. A tiny scratch won't destroy the value, but wear and damage can reduce it significantly. That's why so many collectors treat these coins like precious jewels. Every line, every curve, every detail matters when your coin is potentially worth $1 million. The mystery of the 1993 no mint Mark Lincoln penny doesn't stop at its rarity. There's a story embedded in every coin. A story of mistakes at the mint, of pennies that slipped through unnoticed, of fortunes lying in wait for the patient and observant collector. Some of these coins were likely lost in circulation, spent at grocery stores, or tucked into couch cushions, never realizing their true potential. You might be thinking, could one really be in my change right now? The answer is yes. And that thought alone sends a shiver down the spine of any collector. Imagine sifting through a jar of pennies and suddenly realizing that you're holding a coin worth more than most people see in their lifetime. These coins are so rare that most collectors spend years searching for them, traveling from one coin show to another, scanning rolls of pennies with a magnifying glass. Yet, sometimes, the most astonishing discoveries happen completely by accident. One collector recounted finding a 1993 no-mint mark penny tucked in a drawer he hadn't opened in decades. He didn't even realize what he had until he showed it to a professional grader. That coin would later sell for over $1 million. That it's not just about luck, though. Knowledge is power. Knowing what to look for, understanding the signs of authenticity, and acting fast when a discovery is made can make all the difference. That's why careful inspection, patience, and a sharp eye are your most valuable tools. Look at the date, check for mint marks, examine the edges, notice the sheen, and wait. These details separate a common penny from a million-dollar treasure. If you can train yourself to observe these subtle differences, the odds are suddenly in your favor. And let's not forget the emotional aspect. There's a thrill in knowing that history is literally in your hands. This is a coin that survived decades, a coin that endured circulation, yet remains pristine enough to hold unimaginable value. Every scratch, every mark, tells a story of chance, of timing, of being in the right place at the right moment. Collectors describe the feeling of holding one of these pennies as almost surreal. It's a combination of disbelief, excitement, and reverence. This isn't just currency. It's a piece of history, a key to wealth, and a reminder that fortune often hides in the most ordinary places. So what should you do if you think you found one? First, don't panic. Handle it carefully, avoid cleaning it, and get it authenticated by a reputable grader. Every detail matters, and professional verification ensures you're not missing out on a potential fortune. The market for these coins is intense, and serious collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts. Some coins sell for hundreds of thousands. Some cross the million-dollar mark. And these sales are not hypothetical. They're real, documented, and life-changing. Just one 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has the power to alter someone's financial future forever. Remember, rarity is only part of the story. Timing, condition, and demand all intersect to create this astonishing value. The coin you hold today could be the very coin that sparks a generational wealth story, a coin that becomes the centerpiece of a collection or the subject of headlines. Even casual collectors have a chance to find one. It's not reserved for the elite or the experienced. The right combination of knowledge, attention to detail, and a little luck can reveal a treasure you never expected. And when you finally realize what you've got, the emotions are overwhelming. Excitement, disbelief, and the undeniable thrill of holding a million-dollar coin in your hand. Think about it. A coin produced decades ago, tucked away, overlooked, now has the power to turn ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. The 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is more than copper and ink. It's a symbol of opportunity, discovery, and the remarkable surprises life can hold. Every collector dreams of a find like this. And the reality is, you don't have to dream. With knowledge, vigilance, and persistence, that dream can become tangible. One day, as you sort through coins, you might hold your future in your hand without even realizing it. Yet that exact scenario is happening right now with a 1996 Lincoln penny, and people are finding fortunes hiding in plain sight. This coin isn't flashy. It doesn't scream wealth. To most, it's just another penny, passed from hand to hand, unnoticed. But the truth is stranger than fiction. Decades ago, something unusual happened at the Denver Mint. A small batch of these 1996 pennies was struck under conditions so rare that collectors today would pay everything to get their hands on one. The numbers are tiny, but the demand is massive. And now, one of these coins could turn a regular day into a moment that changes everything. It all comes down to detail. The 1996 Lincoln penny is special because of a unique die variety that slipped through quality control. Most pennies from this year look identical, but a trained eye, or even a careful, patient collector, can spot the subtle differences. The placement of Lincoln's profile, the spacing of the letters, even the tiniest ridge or doubling in the date can make a normal penny transform into $1 million find that lets pause for a second and imagine the life-changing possibilities. People have found these coins in their old collections, tucked in jars, buried in drawers, or even forgotten in coin rolls from decades ago. One moment you're counting pennies, the next, you're holding a piece of history that could be worth over $1 million. The sheer thrill, the disbelief, the emotional rush, it's a story that never gets old for those who have experienced it. Start with the mint mark. The D stamped on the coin isn't just a letter. It's a symbol that this penny came from the Denver Mint, a location responsible for striking only a portion of the year's pennies. From there, look at Lincoln's profile. Subtle doubling on the date, a faint ridge along the edge, or slight anomalies in the letters can be the difference between an ordinary penny and a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Remember, even the smallest detail matters. These aren't just coins, they're keys to unimaginable fortune, maybe 1,000 at most. And each one carries the potential to change someone's life forever. People who thought they were just cleaning out old coin jars have discovered the unimaginable. Some sold these pennies quietly to collectors who knew their worth, and within days, their lives were completely different. From ordinary routines to million-dollar dreams realized. It all started with a coin that most people overlook every single day, that if you're serious about finding this penny, patience and attention to detail are essential. Check your loose change, go through old collections, or ask relatives if they ever kept coins from the 1990s. The 1996 D. Lincoln penny might be hiding in the smallest, most ordinary places: a drawer, a jar, a forgotten coin roll. And the moment you hold it in your hand, the weight of history, rarity, and potential fortune hits you in a way that's hard to describe. It's a story, a journey, a tangible piece of luck and timing that only a few are lucky enough to grasp. The 1996 D. penny is a reminder that treasures aren't always buried in the ground or locked behind glass. Sometimes, they're right there in front of you, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. Let's talk numbers for a second. While ordinary pennies might feel worthless, this penny scarcity pushes it into the realm of million-dollar coins. Imagine holding something in your hand that could fund your retirement, fulfill your dreams, or completely reshape your financial future. That's not just a fantasy. It's reality for collectors who have tracked these pennies, identified the rare varieties, and acted decisively when opportunity knocked. Every few minutes, collectors make discoveries that leave the coin community stunned. It could be a penny tucked in a birthday card, a coin jar that hasn't been touched in decades, or even a handful of change on a desk. And when that coin turns out to be the 1996 D. Lincoln penny, the stories are almost always the same: shock, excitement, disbelief, and ultimately, a profound sense of having touched history. This coin is more than just an investment. It's an emotional journey. It's the thrill of discovery, the pulse of holding something rare, the awe of realizing that millions can be made from what others discard without a second thought. And while it may seem impossible, the truth is that these pennies exist. They are real, tangible, and waiting for the next collector who recognizes their value. The key to success is vigilance. Handle coins carefully, study the details, compare them to verified images online or through professional coin guides. Knowing exactly what to look for can mean the difference between holding a worthless penny and a coin that could redefine your life. Attention, patience, and passion. That's the combination that has turned ordinary collectors into million-dollar winners. Every now and then, someone makes the discovery that everyone dreams about. A penny in a pocket, a jar of coins at home, a forgotten roll tucked away. It's a simple object with extraordinary potential. And when it's identified as the 1996 D. Lincoln penny, the collector suddenly sees not just copper, but possibility, wealth, and history converging in one small, powerful coin. Think about it: a single, overlooked penny turning into a seven-figure prize. That's the power of rarity and detail combined. That's why collectors across the country are studying every coin they can find from 1996, scanning, examining, comparing, and hoping that the next one they hold could be the key to a life-changing discovery. It's not just about money. It's about the story you can tell, the moment you'll never forget, the joy of realizing that the world still hides secrets waiting for the curious, patient, and persistent. This coin reminds us that fortune often comes quietly, hiding in the ordinary, waiting for someone brave enough to notice. Start looking. Examine every penny you can get your hands on. Compare, study, and never underestimate the power of what seems like a simple coin. Because when you find that special 1996 D. Lincoln penny, everything changes. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. Dreams become reality. A simple pocket change becomes over $1 million in your hands.